Tupac versus the world, all his beef with everyone. Nas. Due to faults of his own, rapper Nas got caught up in the East versus West Coast beef. Which of course Tupac wouldn't have liked, as it initially had nothing to do with Nas. Tupac and Nas met each other at the House of Blues, where Tupac and Nas talked about this whole beef situation. Tupac told Nas that he was in no way involved and that he should not get caught up in it because he and Death Row had nothing but love for him. But then, Tupac listened to Nas' songs and he remarked that there was a song, The Message, in which Nas was talking about fake thugs and it sounded as if Nas was talking about Tupac. Nas also liked to talk a lot about thug life after Pac introduced it to the whole world, which pissed Tupac off because he was the man to represent it. Tupac accused Nas of biting his style and stealing his life for his songs. Nas even has a tattoo in the same place of Tupac's Thug Life tattoo, and wore no shirt and his bandana in a similar way to Pac in the video for Hate Me Now. Tupac dissed Nas on songs like Against All Odds and in interviews, such as the interview about Death Row East. But after Tupac's death, Nas claimed they squashed their beef, which is supported by the Outlaws, and Nas even featured on Thug's Mansion on Tupac's posthumous album Better Days. Jay-Z. Unlike his Tupac's beef with Nas, which was mutually ended before Tupac's demise, this is a beef that was ongoing until Tupac died. Yet still Jay-Z wanted his piece of Pac's fame, by featuring on Pac's posthumous release Better Days, which was going ahead until the rumors started by him were quashed. Jay-Z was the first to diss Tupac when he released the track titled Brooklyn's Finest, alongside the Notorious B.I.G. Jay-Z had a close relationship with Bad Boy and with Mobb Deep. As a retaliation, Tupac released Bomb First, My Second Reply, on his Machiavelli, the 7 Day Theory album, dissing Jay-Z among others. Since Tupac's demise, various members of the Outlaws have continued this beef in some tracks. Proving Pac still had beef with Jay-Z until his death, and that as a result Jay-Z should never have been considered for Better Days. Wendy Williams. Williams started a rumor that Tupac was raped while he was in jail and he was all too willing to respond in Why You Turn on Me. Pac was never one to hold his tongue. The lyrics are super explicit, so we'll refrain from quoting. But Pac basically sent a big F you to Williams and called her fat. Rape accusations are serious and Pac took his diss against her just as serious. Chino XL. This all started when a small-time New Jersey rapper, Chino XL, followed on from rumors, started by Wendy Williams, of Tupac been raped in jail. He says on his track Riot, I'm trying not to get fucked like Tupac in jail. In a radio interview Tupac addressed him stating, off the air, I'm gonna beat this nigga's ass. And also on the song Hit 'Em Up with Chino XL, fuck you too. Chino responded in some songs, including a several-minute-long freestyle on a New York radio. In my opinion, Chino XL first said what he did to get his name known in the rap game, by dissing the biggest artist in it, Tupac. We all know beef can make you famous and sells records. After Tupac's demise, Chino stated, I got a chance to see him on Venice Beach one time right before he passed and I let him know that if I would have known my lyrics would have upset him like that, I would have never said it. I mean, I was a fan of his like everybody else was. Everything was straight though, and the Outlaws are my peeps from Jersey, so it was all peace. Haitian Jack. In the song released after his death called Against All Odds, Tupac tells the story of a snitch named Haitian Jack. The song says Jack is stocky, light-skinned and has a Haitian accent, all of which describes Agnant. Agnant is on probation after pleading guilty to sexual misconduct in a 1994 incident in which Tupac was convicted of sexual abuse of a woman who came to his hotel room. Tupac believed Agnant made a deal with prosecutors at the rapper's expense. Fugees. Tupac said they just dissing you on the air on MTV. He said they didn't personally diss the West Coast, but when he started saying California love. And someone asked them about that, they said that's not true, cause East Side is the best side. He said he's seen them too. And they was talking about how much they respect him and love him, but he hate that, because he be serious. Tupac dissed them in the unreleased song called When We Ride on Our Enemies. He said, heard the Fuggies was trying to do me, look bitch I got yo fate, this ain't no motherfucking movie. Then we watched the other two die slow, castrated, entertainin' at my motherfucking side show. He says he let them know this ain't no movie, he was talking about their video for Killing Me Softly, where they are filming at a movie theater. LL Cool J. Tupac admired LL and even gave him a shout out on his song Old School, in which Pac praises all the rappers that influenced him, and who helped rap. But it seems LL didn't seem to be pleased with the whole Tupac situation and recorded a remix of his song I Shot Ya. Which brings to mind a song by Notorious Big called Who Shot Ya. Tupac thought this song was about him being shot in New York. Tupac retaliated in tracks like My Little Homies, saying "Say what nigga, I rock your motherfucking bells," referring to LL's song I Rock the Bell. The song was only released after Pac's death though. But still, like many rappers Tupac beefed with, LL took shots at him after he had passed away. On LL's album Phenomenon, he says, "She says she loves Tupac but hates LL. Do you really want a thug or do you want love? Not too distasteful." But in our view this is still dissing Tupac when he can no longer defend himself. Dr. Dre. When Snoop Dogg was on trial for murder, witnesses in the trial said Dr. Dre was in the car. If he had appeared at court he could have testified, but instead he said that he was too busy. This pissed Pac off because he thought that Dre wasn't showing his homeboy Snoop, and the death row camp, loyalty. Tupac also didn't like the way Dre because he was earning stacks from death row for doing nothing, since the Chronic. He disses Dre in many songs after Dre left death row, even questioning his sexuality, in the song To Live and Die in L.A. Tupac claims that Dr. Dre is homosexual and he does the same in Toss It Up. Tupac also dissed Dre for being a gangster 1 minute, and not the next. In Toss It Up Tupac takes big digs at Dr. Dre saying, "No longer Dre Day, arrived der Shay, long and forgotten, gotten for plot and child's play. Check your sexuality, as fruity as this Ollie's quick to jump ship, punk trick, what a dumb move cross death row, now who you gonna run to? Like those other suckers cause you similar, pretending to be hard, oh my god check your temperature, screamin' Compton, but you can't return. You ain't heard brothers pissed cause you switched and escaped to the burbs." Tupac also claimed that Dr. Dre cheated on his wife. "What's down in the darkness, will come to light." Despite all this, Dr. Dre still paid tribute to Pac in 2000 during the Up in Smoke tour, saying that it was a pleasure to work alongside Tupac. Cynthia Dolores Tucker. Miss C. Dolores Tucker was a U.S. politician and civil rights activist best known for her participation in the civil rights movement and stance against gangsta rap music. Miss Tucker wanted rap to not only be censored, but banned altogether. Tupac addresses her on the track How Do You Want It? On the album All Eyes on Me, rapping C. Dolores Tucker use a motherfucker, instead of trying to help a nigga you destroy a brother. Tupac also disses her on the track Wonder Why They Call You Bitch, again from his All Eyes on Me album, saying Dear Ms. Dolores Tucker, I figured you wanted to know, why we call them hoes bitches. And maybe this might help you understand, it ain't personal, strictly business baby, strictly business. Tucker filed a $10 million lawsuit after Tupac had died against his estate, claiming the songs ruined her sex life, inflicted emotional distress, and that they were slanderous and invaded her privacy. This case was eventually dismissed. Tucker later went on to serve in the advisory board of the Parents Television Council until her death in 2005. Mobb Deep. Whilst in jail, Tupac did an interview with Vibe where he claimed that thug life was dead and that he was giving it up. Mobb Deep felt as if they were tough enough to represent it, and in a song called Survival of the Fittest, they rapped about Tupac's notorious thug life we still live in it. Tupac didn't like this and sent homies to taunt Mobb Deep at a concert. According to Tupac, the duo were so scared they did everything they could to avoid a conflict. When Tupac was bailed out, he started to take shots at them publicly, again in songs such as Hit 'Em Up and in interviews with big radio stations. Tupac called them little kids and said that they were not on his level. But they had the courage to retaliate on their song Drop a Gem on M. They are the only ones who dissed him in public, although the album the song was on came out after Tupac's death. They have also taken to disrespectfully dissing Tupac again, well after his demise, to which Fatal of Tupac's group, The Outlaws, has retaliated too in Tupac's defense. Puff Daddy. Sean Combs, or Puffy, is the owner of Bad Boy Records. He approached Tupac in a bid to sign him to Bad Boy in 1994, Tupac declined the offer. Tupac then signed for Death Row Records, run by Puffy's arch-enemy Suge Knight. Because of this, and the fact Bad Boy are reportedly funded by the Black Mafia, and that Sean Combs was also in the studio in NY where Tupac was shot, it is thought Tupac was shot because of this declination. Tupac was shot and robbed in the entrance of the building and then got himself into the elevator. He went up to the floor where everybody was partying. Tupac said that Puffy looked shocked when he saw Tupac, as if he had seen a ghost. Tupac thought that Puffy also knew about the setup and was angry because Puffy denied it. While Tupac was in jail, Puffy wanted to make peace with him by sending him a letter, giving him props like "Hey Pac, keep your struggle on." When Tupac was released, he immediately began to diss Puffy. A slow Tupac saw Puffy as a fake, he wasn't a gangster, he didn't write his own lyrics, his flow was weak, his beats were ripped. But he portrayed the opposite to the public. Biggie Smalls aka Notorious B.I.G. Tupac and Biggie were actually once friends, believe it or not. Before Biggie was famous, Tupac used to let Biggie rap with him at concerts and gave him the start that he needed in the rap game. He even bought Biggie his first Rolex. Just before Pac was in Shot 94, Big said that the company Pac was keeping weren't cool. These guys were King Tut and Jacques Agnon aka Haitian Jack, who were members of the Black Mafia which supposedly financed Bad Boy Records. Biggie said he'd talk to Pac later, which never happened. The next time Tupac saw him was when he was shot. When Tupac was in jail, he was told how it was Biggie's homeboy who got him shot, and Tupac stated this, but never actually said Biggie was responsible for the shooting. He thought Biggie held back info on the shooting. When Pac was in jail, Biggie released an album which was exactly like Tupac, so he had to rewrite his. By now Tupac was really pissed with him, as Biggie was also rapping about his clothes, jewelry, parties and a lifestyle he didn't have. Tupac knew he was rapping about his life. Tupac released many lyrics, humiliating and denouncing Biggie, a vicious attack on him and Bad Boy with Hit 'Em Up, and claimed he slept with Biggie's wife, Faith Evans.